Momentum is an incredible force. And once you harness it, it can change everything. Imagine a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts small, almost insignificant, but as it picks up speed, it gathers more snow, growing larger and moving faster with each rotation. The same principle applies to our actions. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you initiate a chain reaction that builds upon itself. It's like pushing a car. Initially, it takes a lot of effort to get it moving, but once it's rolling, it requires much less force to keep it going. Momentum works because of the compounding effect of action. When you accomplish something, you feel a sense of achievement. That feeling creates energy, and that energy motivates you to take the next step. It's a self-reinforcing cycle. Each success, no matter how minor, fuels the next. But here's the key. You have to start. You can't generate momentum if you never get moving. It's like trying to steer a parked car. You can turn the wheel all you want, but unless the car is in motion, you're going nowhere. Once you get that ball rolling, things that seem difficult or even impossible before suddenly become manageable. The energy you create from small wins gives you the confidence to tackle bigger challenges. Think about how a runner feels in a race. The hardest part is the first few strides, getting the body moving and into rhythm. But once they're in the zone, it's like they're on autopilot, powered by the momentum they've created. But momentum also acts as a buffer against obstacles. When you're moving with momentum, the small bumps in the road don't derail you. You're less likely to get discouraged by setbacks because the forward motion you've created carries you over them. It's like being on a bike. If you're moving quickly, you can hit a small rock and keep going. But if you're barely moving, that same rock could knock you over. One of the most powerful aspects of momentum is how it attracts opportunities. When you're in motion, people notice. Opportunities that you couldn't see when you were standing still suddenly come into view. It's as if the universe rewards action by opening up new possibilities. But remember, these opportunities don't come to those who are waiting around. They come to those who are already in motion. So if you want to change your life, start by taking that first step. It doesn't have to be a big one, just enough to get you moving. The more you do, the easier it becomes, and before you know it, you'll be propelled forward by the unstoppable force of momentum. We often hear people say they're waiting for motivation before they start something new. It's this idea that motivation is a magical spark that will suddenly ignite, giving us the energy and drive to take on any challenge. But that's a myth. Motivation isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you create. People believe they need to feel motivated before they can begin, thinking that they'll just wake up one day with this overwhelming urge to get things done. The problem is, if you're sitting around waiting for that surge of inspiration, you might be waiting forever. The truth is, motivation is the result of action, not the cause of it. You don't need motivation to start. You need to start to create motivation. Think about it. When was the last time you felt really motivated? Was it before you took action or after? More often than not, motivation kicks in after you've already begun. Maybe you started cleaning your house, and after a few minutes, you suddenly felt like tackling the whole place. Or perhaps you began a workout feeling sluggish, but as you got into it, you felt more energized and ready to push harder. That's because the act of doing generates its own energy, its own motivation. This is why people who are always waiting for motivation rarely accomplish much. They're stuck in a cycle of inaction because they believe they need that initial burst of energy to get started. But those who understand the myth of motivation know that the key is to take that first step, no matter how small, and trust that the motivation will follow. Action is the real driver here. When you take action, even if it's just a tiny step forward, you create momentum, and that momentum fuels motivation. Motivation is also incredibly fickle. One day you might feel on top of the world, ready to conquer anything, and the next day it's gone. If you rely on motivation to get things done, you find yourself constantly at the mercy of your emotions, starting and stopping based on how you feel at any given moment. This is why it's so important to understand that motivation is not a prerequisite for action. It's a byproduct of it. The more you do, the more motivated you become. Another problem with relying on motivation is that it often leads to procrastination. We tell ourselves we'll start that project when we feel more motivated, or we'll hit the gym when we're more in the mood. But this just gives us an excuse to delay action. The longer we wait, the harder it becomes to get started, and the more we reinforce the idea that we need to feel motivated first. It's a vicious cycle that keeps us stuck in place, constantly waiting for the perfect moment that never comes. In reality, The most successful people aren't those who are always motivated. They're the ones who understand that action breeds motivation. They know that the key is to just start, even when they don't feel like it. They push through the initial resistance and find that once the emotion, the motivation comes naturally. It's not about waiting for the stars to align or for some mystical force to take over. It's about taking control and creating the conditions for motivation to arise. So instead of waiting for motivation, start with action. Even if it's small, even if it feels insignificant, just start. The very act of doing something will generate the motivation you're looking for. And once you're in motion, that motivation will grow, making it easier to keep going. That's the real secret. Not some elusive burst of energy that may or may not come, but the simple, powerful truth that action creates motivation, not the other way around. The way you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day. It's like laying the first brick in a foundation. If you get it right, everything else falls into place more easily. That's why morning routines are so powerful. They act as a catalyst, jumpstarting your day with purpose and intention. When you wake up and follow a routine that energizes you, clears your mind, and sets your priorities straight, you're not just reacting to the day as it happens. You're proactively shaping it. A good morning routine is like a well-oiled machine. It's consistent, it's efficient, and it's effective. It doesn't have to be complicated or time-consuming, but it does have to be intentional. Whether it's spending 10 minutes meditating, going for a run, or simply enjoying a cup of coffee while reviewing your goals, these small, deliberate actions create a sense of control. They remind you that you are in charge of your day, not the other way around. The beauty of a morning routine is that it gives you time to center yourself before the chaos of the day begins. It's a moment of calm where you can gather your thoughts, focus on what's important, and set a positive tone. Without a morning routine, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting wherever the currents take you. But when you start your day with intention, you're steering that ship, deciding which direction you want to go. One of the most powerful aspects of a morning routine is how it helps you build momentum. By accomplishing a few small tasks early in the day, you create a sense of achievement that carries through to everything else you do. It's like lighting a fuse. The energy you generate in those first few moments propels you forward, making it easier to tackle the bigger challenges that lie ahead. Morning routines also help to reduce decision fatigue. Every day, we're faced with countless choices, and each one takes a toll on our mental energy. But when you have a routine, those first decisions of the day are already made. You don't have to think about what to do next because it's part of your routine. This frees up mental space for more important decisions later on and keeps you from feeling overwhelmed before the day even begins. Moreover, a consistent morning routine reinforces discipline. It's a commitment you make to yourself every day, and sticking to it builds resilience and self-respect. It's easy to hit the snooze button or skip your workout, but when you consistently choose to follow your routine, you're training yourself to prioritize your well-being and your goals. This discipline spills over into other areas of your life, making it easier to stay on track with your long-term objectives. Another benefit of a morning routine is that it sets the stage for mindfulness. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to get caught up in the noise and lose sight of what really matters. But when you start your day with activities that encourage mindfulness, whether it's meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in silence, you create a mental buffer that helps you stay focused and grounded throughout the day. This mindfulness allows you to respond to challenges with clarity and composure rather than just reacting out of stress or habit. Morning routines also help you connect with your purpose. When you start your day by reflecting on your goals and aligning your actions with your values, you're reminded of why you're doing what you're doing. This sense of purpose is a powerful motivator, driving you to take action and make decisions that move you closer to your dreams. Without this daily reminder, it's easy to get lost in the minutiae of life and lose sight of the bigger picture. In essence, a morning routine is about setting yourself up for success. It's about taking control of your day before the day takes control of you. By starting with intention, mindfulness, and a focus on what truly matters, you create a ripple effect that influences everything else you do. It's not just about having a productive morning, it's about creating a foundation for a productive, fulfilling life. When you make your morning routine a non-negotiable part of your day, you're not just starting your day, you're starting it right with the energy, focus, and purpose you need to achieve your goals. Feeling stuck is one of those frustrating experiences you can go through. It's that sense of being trapped in a cycle where no matter what you do, you can't seem to make progress. You might feel like you're spinning your wheels, putting in effort without getting any closer to where you want to be. It's not because you're lazy or incapable. It's because you're unclear about where you're going and why you're going there. One of the biggest reasons people get stuck is because they lack clarity. Without a clear vision or direction, it's impossible to move forward with purpose. Think of it like being in a fog. When you can't see what's ahead, you hesitate, second guess yourself, and end up going in circles. You might be busy, but that busyness doesn't translate to meaningful progress because you don't have a clear goal guiding your actions. It's like trying to drive to a destination without a map. Every turn could be the wrong one because you're not sure where you're supposed to go. This lack of clarity often stems from not taking the time to really define what you want and why you want it. It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind and lose sight of the bigger picture. You might find yourself going through the motions, checking off tasks on a to-do list without really questioning whether those tasks are moving you closer to your ultimate goals. This is where many people get stuck. They're busy but not productive. They're working hard but not working smart because they haven't taken the time to get crystal clear on what they're working toward. Another reason you might feel stuck is because of fear of failure, fear of the unknown, or even fear of success. Fear can be paralyzing, keeping you from taking the risks necessary to move forward. When you're afraid, it's easy to stay in your comfort zone, even if that comfort zone isn't serving you. You might avoid making decisions or taking action because you're afraid of making the wrong choice. This avoidance only reinforces the feeling of being stuck. The longer you stay in one place, the harder it becomes to break free because the fear grows stronger with inaction. Procrastination is another common culprit. You know what needs to be done, but you keep putting it off, telling yourself you'll get to it later. The problem is later never comes. The tasks pile up, the pressure builds, and you find yourself overwhelmed and immobilized. Procrastination is often a symptom of deeper issues like fear or lack of clarity. When you're unsure of the next step, it's easy to delay taking it. But the longer you procrastinate, the more stuck you become because you're not making any progress. Negative self-talk can also play a significant role in keeping you stuck. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're not good enough, not smart enough, or not capable enough, you're creating a mental barrier that's hard to overcome. These limiting beliefs become a self-fulfilling prophecy. You start to believe that you can't succeed, so you don't try or you give up too soon. This creates a cycle of defeat where each failure reinforces the belief that you're stuck, making it even harder to break free. Sometimes you're stuck because you're trying to do too much at once. You've got a million ideas and projects and you're trying to tackle them all simultaneously. But instead of making progress, you end up scattered and unfocused. When you spread yourself too thin, you can't give any one thing the attention it deserves, and nothing gets done to the level of quality you're capable of. This can leave you feeling overwhelmed and stuck because you're not seeing the results you want, despite all your effort. Being stuck can also be a sign that you're not aligned with your true passions or values. Maybe you're pursuing goals that aren't really yours, goals that others have set for you, or that you think you should be working toward. When your heart isn't in it, motivation is hard to come by and progress feels like a slog. You might find yourself constantly distracted, unable to focus because deep down, you're not really invested in what you're doing. This misalignment creates resistance, making it feel like you're constantly swimming against the tide. To break free from feeling stuck, it's crucial to step back and reassess where you're going and why. You need to gain clarity about your goals, confront the fears that are holding you back, and focus on taking deliberate, meaningful action. It's not about making huge leaps overnight. It's about making sure each step you take is moving you closer to where you want to be. When you understand why you're stuck, you can take the necessary steps to get unstuck and start making progress again. Small wins have a way of leading to big results, often in ways that are surprising and transformative. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that only big actions lead to success. But in reality, it's the accumulation of small, consistent victories that builds momentum and drives significant change. Each small win acts like a building block, laying the foundation for something much larger. When you focus on these smaller goals, you create a sense of achievement and progress that fuels your motivation to keep going. The power of small wins lies in their ability to create a positive feedback loop. When you achieve something, no matter how small, your brain releases dopamine, the feel-good chemical that reinforces behaviors. This chemical reward system makes you feel good about what you've accomplished, which in turn motivates you to pursue the next win. It's a cycle that builds on itself, where each success breeds more success. This is why small wins are so powerful. They create a psychological momentum that propels you forward, making it easier to tackle bigger challenges. Small wins also help to break down overwhelming tasks into manageable steps. When you're faced with a daunting goal, it can be paralyzing to think about everything that needs to be done. But by focusing on one small step at a time, you can chip away at the task without getting overwhelmed. Each small win brings you closer to your larger goal, making it feel more achievable. It's like climbing a mountain. If you focus on reaching the summit, it might seem impossible. But if you focus on taking one step at a time, you'll eventually get there. Another key benefit of small wins is that they build confidence. Every time you accomplish something, you prove to yourself that you're capable. This growing sense of self-efficacy makes you more willing to take on new challenges because you've built up a track record of success. With each win, no matter how small, you're reinforcing the belief that you can do it. This confidence isn't just important for tackling your goals. It's crucial for overcoming the inevitable setbacks and obstacles that will come your way. Small wins also help to create and reinforce good habits. When you consistently achieve small goals, you're not just getting things done. You're also establishing routines and behaviors that contribute to long-term success. Habits are powerful because they automate positive behaviors, reducing the need for willpower and making it easier to stay on track. For example, if your goal is to get in shape, focusing on small wins like exercising for just 10 minutes a day can help you build a habit of regular physical activity. Over time, these small efforts add up to significant improvements in your health and fitness. One of the most important aspects of small wins is their ability to sustain motivation. Big goals can take a long time to achieve, and it's easy to lose motivation along the way. But when you're celebrating small wins, you're giving yourself regular doses of encouragement that keep you going. Each small victory is a reminder that you're making progress, even if the end goal still seems far off. This sustained motivation is crucial for long-term success, especially when you're working on something that requires a lot of time and effort. Small wins also have a way of opening up new opportunities. When you're consistently making progress, you're more likely to attract attention and resources that can help you achieve even bigger goals. Success breeds success, and people are naturally drawn to those who are making things happen. Each small win builds your reputation and credibility, making it easier to gain support and access to opportunities that might not have been available otherwise. Moreover, small wins create a sense of momentum that makes it easier to overcome resistance and inertia. When you're just getting started, it can be difficult to build up the energy to take action, especially if the task ahead seems daunting. But once you achieve that first small win, you've broken through the initial resistance, and the next step becomes easier. It's like pushing a boulder up a hill. The hardest part is getting it moving, but once it's rolling, it's much easier to keep it going. In the end, it's the accumulation of small wins that leads to big results. Each one may seem insignificant on its own, but together they create a powerful force that can drive you toward your goals. By focusing on achieving small victories every day, you're setting yourself up for long-term success. You're building momentum, confidence, and habits that will carry you through the challenges ahead. And before you know it, those small wins will have added up to something truly remarkable. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions we experience, and it can either hold us back or propel you forward. The key to success often lies in how you handle fear. Instead of letting it paralyze you, you can learn to turn fear into fuel, a driving force that pushes you to achieve more than you ever thought possible. Fear, when harnessed correctly, can be a source of incredible energy, motivation, and focus. The first step in turning fear into fuel is recognizing that fear is a natural and inevitable part of growth. Whenever you step outside your comfort zone or face a challenge that matters to you, fear is going to show up. It's your brain's way of protecting you from potential harm. But in many cases, the real danger is not the situation itself, but the fear of the unknown or the fear of failure. By understanding that fear is a normal response, you can begin to change your relationship with it. Instead of seeing fear as a sign to stop, you can view it as a signal that you're on the edge of something important, something that has the potential to lead to significant growth and transformation. When you feel fear, your body is flooded with adrenaline. Your heart races, your senses heighten, and your mind becomes hyper-focused. This physiological response, while uncomfortable, can be incredibly powerful if you channel it correctly. Instead of letting that energy turn into anxiety or avoidance, you can redirect it towards action. Fear sharpens your focus and heightens your awareness, giving you an edge when tackling difficult tasks. It forces you to be more alert, more deliberate, and more prepared. In this way, fear can actually enhance your performance, pushing you to rise to the occasion. Turning fear to fuel also involves reframing how you think about fear. Many people see fear as a negative emotion, something to be avoided at all costs. But fear is also an indicator that you're pushing your boundaries, that you're doing something that matters. It's a sign that you're alive, that you're engaged with your life and your goals. By reframing fear as a positive, as a companion on your journey rather than an obstacle, you can start to embrace it instead of running from it. When you see fear as a signpost pointing you toward growth, it becomes easier to step into it rather than retreat. Another way to turn fear into fuel is to use it as a motivator. Fear of failure, fear of disappointment, fear of regret. These can all be powerful drivers if you use them to propel you forward. Instead of fearing failure so much that you never try, let the fear of not trying at all push you into action. Think about the regret you might feel if you don't take the chance, if you don't give it your all. That fear of looking back with regret can be a strong motivator to push through the discomfort and take bold steps forward. It's also important to understand that fear often comes from uncertainty. We fear what we don't know, and the unknown can feel daunting. But when you break down the unknown into smaller, more manageable parts, it becomes less scary. Taking small steps to go, even in the face of fear, can help you gain confidence and momentum. With each step, the fear diminishes as you gain more experience and knowledge. This process of gradual exposure helps to demystify what you're afraid of, making it more tangible and less overwhelming. Turning fear into fuel requires a willingness to embrace discomfort. Growth doesn't happen in the comfort zone. It happens when you're willing to stretch yourself, to take risks, and to face challenges head on. Fear is a natural companion on this journey, but it doesn't have to be a roadblock. By leaning into fear, by accepting it as part of the process, you can use it to propel yourself toward your goals. The discomfort of fear is temporary, but the rewards of pushing through it are lasting. Another powerful way to harness fear is by using it to clarify your priorities. When you're faced with something that scares you, it forces you to confront what really matters to you. Fear has a way of cutting through the noise and getting to the heart of what's important. It helps you identify what's worth fighting for, what's worth taking risks for. This clarity can be incredibly empowering, giving you the focus and determination you need to move forward, even in the face of uncertainty. Finally, remember that everyone experiences fear. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of being human. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. By learning to turn your fear into fuel, you not only overcome it, you use it to propel yourself to greater heights. Fear becomes less of a barrier and more of a catalyst, pushing you to grow, to evolve, and to reach your full potential. The cost of inaction is often far greater than the risks associated with taking action. When you choose not to act, you might think you're playing it safe, avoiding potential failures or mistakes. But in reality, inaction carries its own set of consequences. Consequences that can be more damaging and long-lasting than any mistake you might make by taking a risk. When you don't move forward, you're not just standing still. You're allowing opportunities to slip by. And over time, the cumulative effect of these missed opportunities can be devastating. One of the most significant costs of inaction is the loss of potential growth and progress. Every moment that you hesitate or choose to stay within your comfort zone is a moment where you could have been learning, improving, and moving closer to your goals. Growth happens outside the comfort zone, and when you avoid taking steps forward, you deny yourself the chance to grow. The opportunities for development, whether in your career, your personal life, or your relationships, don't just pause when you do. They pass you by over time. This leads to stagnation, where the gap between where you are and where you could be only widens. Inaction also breeds regret. It's easy to look back and see the opportunities you missed because you didn't act. Maybe it was a job you didn't apply for, a business you didn't start, or a conversation you avoided having. These missed chances accumulate, and they can haunt you far more than any failure ever could. Failure at least teaches you something. but inaction leaves you with nothing but questions. What if? And if only. These regrets can linger, becoming a heavy burden that's hard to shake. When you allow fear or indecision to keep you from acting, you're essentially choosing regret over potential success. Another cost of inaction is the erosion of confidence. Each time you choose not to act, you're reinforcing a belief in your own inability to handle challenges or take risks. This erodes your self-confidence over time, making it even harder to take action in the future. Inaction becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. You don't act because you're afraid of failing, and because you don't act, you never gain the experience or confidence that comes from trying. This creates a cycle of avoidance and self-doubt that can be incredibly difficult to break. Inaction also affects your relationships. Whether in your personal life or professional environment, choosing not to act can strain connections with others. Maybe it's a conversation you've been avoiding, a decision you've been putting off, or an opportunity to help someone that you didn't take. Over time, these small instances of action can build up, creating distance and misunderstandings. People notice when you don't show up, and over time, this can erode trust and weaken relationships that are important to you. Moreover, the cost of inaction often includes missed financial opportunities. In business, delaying decisions or failing to seize opportunities can result in lost revenue, market share, or competitive advantage. On a personal level, not investing in your future, whether through education, financial planning, or personal development, can lead to missed opportunities for wealth and security. The financial impact of inaction can compound over time, leading to significant losses that are hard to recover from. Inaction also affects your health and well-being. When you fail to take action on things that are important to your health, like exercising, eating right, or managing stress, the long-term consequences can be severe. Poor health habits can lead to chronic conditions, decreased quality of life, and even a shortened lifespan. The longer you wait to address these issues, the harder they become to overcome, and the more likely you are to suffer the consequences. Inaction in this area is not just a matter of missed opportunities. It can have a direct and profound impact on your overall quality of life. Finally, inaction can diminish your sense of purpose and fulfillment. When you're not actively pursuing your goals or taking steps toward what you want, it's easy to feel lost or unfulfilled. Purpose comes from taking action by setting goals, striving to achieve them, and learning from the process. When you're not taking action, you're not living up to your potential. And this can lead to feelings of emptiness or dissatisfaction. Over time, the cost of not pursuing your purpose can be a deep sense of regret and a life that feels unfulfilled. In the end, the cost of inaction is not just about the opportunities you miss or the progress you don't make. It's about the life you could have lived. Every moment of inaction is a moment where you're choosing not to move closer to your dreams, not to grow, not to become the person you're capable of being. The price of inaction is a life of potential unfulfilled, of dreams unrealized, and of a future that could have been but never was. Failure is often seen as something to be avoided at all costs, but this mindset limits your potential for growth and success. Reframing failure, you're changing the way you perceive and respond to it, can transform what seems like a setback into a powerful learning experience. Instead of viewing failure as the end of the road, you can see it as a stepping stone on the path to achievement, a necessary part of the journey that shapes you into the person you need to become to reach your goals. One of the most important aspects of reframing failure is understanding that failure is not a reflection of your worth or capabilities. It's simply feedback, an indication that something didn't go as planned, but it's not a verdict on who you are as a person. When you internalize failure, seeing it as a personal deficiency, it can erode your confidence and make you hesitant to try again. But when you reframe failure as a natural part of the learning process, you free yourself from the burden of self-judgment. You begin to see that failure doesn't define you. How you respond to it does. Failure also provides valuable information. Each time you fail, you gain insights into what doesn't work, which is just as important as knowing what does. This information helps you refine your approach, adjust your strategy, and ultimately increase your chances of success. By reframing failure as a learning opportunity, you shift your focus from the disappointment of not achieving your goal to the lessons you can take away from the experience. These lessons are often more valuable than the success itself because they build resilience, problem-solving skills, and adaptability. Another powerful way to reframe failure is by recognizing that it's a sign you're pushing your limits. If you're not failing, you're probably not challenging yourself enough. Playing it safe might protect you from failure, but it also keeps you from reaching your full potential. Failure indicates that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, taking risks, and striving for something greater. When you start to see failure as a sign of growth rather than a setback, it becomes something to embrace rather than it's evidence that you're stretching yourself and moving closer to your goals. Reframing failure also involves letting go of the fear of judgment from others. Many people are so afraid of what others would think if they fail that they don't even try. But the truth is, most people are too focused on their own lives to dwell on your failures, and those who do are often not worth your concern. When you stop worrying about how others perceive your failures, you gain the freedom to take bold actions without the fear of judgment. This shift in mindset allows you to take more risks and, as a result, achieve more than you ever thought possible. Failure also helps to build resilience. Each time you fail and pick yourself up again, you become stronger and more capable of handling future challenges. Resilience is like a muscle that gets stronger with use, and failure is one of the best ways to build it. When you reframe failure as an opportunity to develop resilience, you start to see it as a necessary part of growth rather than something to be avoided. This resilience not only helps you in your current pursuits, but also equips you to face future challenges with greater confidence and determination. Reframing failure can also lead to innovation. Many of the world's greatest inventions and breakthroughs have come from failed attempts. When you're not afraid to fail, you're more likely to experiment, take risks, and try new things. This willingness to fail is what leads to innovation and progress. By seeing failure as a part of the creative process, you open yourself up to possibilities that you might never have considered if you were only focused on avoiding mistakes. In this way, failure becomes a catalyst for creativity and discovery. Finally, reframing failure helps to cultivate a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. People with a growth mindset see failure as a temporary setback, a challenge to be overcome rather than a permanent condition. They understand that failure is just one step in the process of improvement, and they use it as a tool to help them get better. When you adopt a growth mindset, failure loses its sting because you no longer see it as an endpoint, but as a critical part of your journey toward mastery. In the end, failure is not something to be feared or avoided. It's an essential part of the path to success. By reframing how you think about failure, you can turn it from a source of fear and discouragement into a powerful tool for growth and achievement. Failure becomes less about what went wrong and more about what you can learn and how you can improve. With this mindset, you're no longer afraid of failing because you know that every failure brings you one step closer to success. The environment you create around yourself plays a crucial role in shaping your mindset, attitudes, and ultimately your success. When you surround yourself with positivity, positive people, thoughts, and experiences, you set the stage for growth, happiness, and resilience. Positivity isn't just about feeling good. It's a powerful force that influences your outlook on life, your decisions, and the way you respond to challenges. By intentionally cultivating a positive environment, you can dramatically impact your journey toward achieving your goals. The people you choose to spend time with are one of the most significant influences on your mindset. If you surround yourself with individuals who are supportive, encouraging, and optimistic, you're more likely to adopt these qualities yourself. Positive people lift you up. They believe in your potential and encourage you to pursue your dreams. They offer constructive feedback rather than criticism, and they celebrate your successes with genuine happiness. Being around such individuals boosts your confidence and motivates you to push through obstacles, knowing you have a strong support system behind you. On the other hand, if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, people who doubt you, criticize you, or bring you down, it can be incredibly difficult to maintain a positive outlook. Negative influences can drain your energy, lower your self-esteem, and create doubt where there should be confidence. Over time, this negativity can become internalized, affecting the way you see yourself and your potential. That's why it's so important to be selective about the company you keep. By choosing to be around positive, uplifting people. You protect your mental and emotional well-being and set yourself up for success. Positivity also extends to the thoughts you entertain. Your internal dialogue, the way you speak to yourself, can either empower you or hold you back. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that you'll never succeed, or that things will never get better, these thoughts will become your reality. But if you consciously choose to focus on positive thoughts, affirming your strengths and potential, you create a mental environment that fosters growth and resilience. Positive self-talk is not about ignoring challenges or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about recognizing your ability to overcome difficulties and focusing on what you can do rather than what you can't. In addition to people and thoughts, the physical environment you create also impacts your positivity. Your surroundings can influence your mood, productivity, and overall sense of well-being. A cluttered, chaotic space can contribute to feelings of stress and overwhelm, while a clean, organized, and aesthetically pleasing environment can boost your mood and help you feel more in control. Surrounding yourself with reminders of your goals, achievements, and things that inspire you can keep you focused on the positive aspects of your journey. Whether it's through inspiring quotes, meaningful objects, or simply maintaining a space that feels good to be in, your physical environment should reflect the positivity you want to cultivate in your life. Another aspect of surrounding yourself with positivity is the content you consume. The books you read, the media you watch, and the conversations you engage in all contribute to your mental and emotional state. Consuming positive, uplifting content can provide inspiration, motivation, and new perspectives that fuel your growth. It can challenge you to think differently, to believe in possibilities, and to strive for more. On the other hand, consuming negative or toxic content can reinforce limiting beliefs, increase anxiety, and contribute to a pessimistic outlook. By choosing content that supports your goals and uplifts your spirit, you reinforce the positive environment you're creating. Positivity also plays a critical role in how you handle challenges and setbacks. When you're surrounded by positivity, you're more likely to see challenges as opportunities rather than obstacles. Positive influences help you maintain perspective, reminding you that setbacks are temporary and that you have the strength to overcome them. This resilience is essential for long-term success because it enables you to keep moving forward, even when things don't go as planned. Positivity doesn't mean ignoring problems. It means approaching them with a solution-oriented mindset and the belief that you can find a way through. Furthermore, surrounding yourself with positivity can enhance your creativity and problem-solving abilities. A positive mindset opens your mind to new possibilities, allowing you to think more creatively and approach problems from different angles. When you're not bogged down by negativity or self-doubt, you're more likely to take risks, experiment with new ideas, and find innovative solutions. This creative energy can be a significant asset in both your personal and professional life, helping you stand out and achieve your goals in unique ways. Surrounding yourself with positivity also has a profound impact on your health and well-being. Research has shown that positive emotions and thoughts can lead to better physical health, including lower stress levels, a stronger immune system, and a longer lifespan. When you cultivate positivity, you're not just improving your mental and emotional state. You're also taking care of your body. This holistic approach to well-being supports you in every area of your life, giving you the energy and vitality needed to pursue your goals with enthusiasm and determination. In summary, surrounding yourself with positivity is about creating an environment, both internal and external, that supports your growth, happiness, and success. It's about choosing the right people, thoughts, and surroundings that lift you up rather than hold you back. When you consciously build a positive environment, you equip yourself with the mindset and energy needed to overcome challenges, seize opportunities, and achieve your fullest potential. Positivity isn't just a nice to have. It's a critical component of living a fulfilling, successful. Discipline is often seen as a rigid set of rules or restrictions, but in reality, it is the gateway to true freedom. When you commit to discipline, you create a structure and a set of habits that enable you to achieve your goals and live the life you desire. Far from being a limitation, discipline provides the foundation upon which freedom is built. It's through disciplined actions and choices that you unlock the ability to live life on your own terms, unburdened by the constraints of chaos or lack of direction. Discipline begins with setting clear goals and establishing a plan to achieve them. Without discipline, goals can remain just dreams, lost in the realm of intention rather than materializing into reality. Discipline involves consistently working towards these goals, adhering to a plan, and making sacrifices in the short term for long-term gains. By adhering to a disciplined approach, you're effectively creating a roadmap for yourself where each step is deliberate and contributes to your overall success. This roadmap not only guides you, but also provides a sense of direction and purpose, allowing you to navigate challenges with a clear focus. One of the fundamental ways that discipline leads to freedom is through the control of habits. Good habits are the building blocks of success, and they are cultivated through disciplined actions. When you consistently practice positive habits, whether they involve work, health, or personal development, you gradually build a strong foundation for achieving your goals. These habits, once ingrained, become automatic, reducing the mental and emotional effort required to maintain them. As a result, you free up mental space and energy to focus on other important aspects of your life. Discipline in forming these habits ultimately leads to greater freedom by creating stability and efficiency in your daily. Discipline also enables you to manage your time effectively. Time is a finite resource, and how you use it can determine your level of success and fulfillment. A disciplined approach to time management involves prioritizing tasks, setting boundaries, and avoiding distractions. By controlling how you spend your time, you create more opportunities to engage in activities that align with your goals and values. This proactive management of time allows you to avoid the pitfalls of procrastination and disorganization, giving you the freedom to pursue your passions and interests without being bogged down by the consequences of poor time management. Moreover, discipline helps you build resilience and overcome obstacles. Every journey toward achieving significant goals involves setbacks and challenges. Discipline provides the mental fortitude needed to persevere through difficult times. It helps you stay committed to your objectives even when motivation wanes or when obstacles seem insurmountable. This resilience, built through disciplined practice, allows you to face challenges with a sense of purpose and determination, transforming obstacles into opportunities for growth. The freedom you gain from overcoming these challenges is the freedom to achieve your goals and live a life of fulfillment. Financial discipline is another key aspect of how discipline leads to freedom. Managing your finances with discipline through budgeting, saving, and investing can lead to financial stability and independence. When you make disciplined financial decisions, you build a solid foundation for future financial freedom. This financial discipline allows you to avoid debt, make informed investment choices, and plan for long-term goals. Ultimately, financial stability provides you with the freedom to make choices based on your values and aspirations rather than being constrained by financial limitations. In addition, discipline fosters personal growth and self-improvement. Committing to personal development, whether through education, skill building, or self-reflection, requires a disciplined approach. By consistently working on yourself, you expand your capabilities and increase your potential. This personal growth enhances your confidence and opens up new opportunities, allowing you to live a life that aligns with your highest aspirations. The freedom that comes from personal growth is the freedom to live authentically and pursue your true passions. Discipline also impacts your relationships. Consistent effort and respect in relationships, whether with family, friends, or colleagues, require discipline. Building and maintaining strong, healthy relationships involves active listening, empathy, and reliability, qualities that are cultivated through disciplined behavior. By investing in your relationships with discipline, you create a supportive network that enriches your life and provides additional freedom to pursue your goals, knowing you have a strong support system in place. Ultimately, discipline equals freedom because it creates a structured framework within which you can operate effectively. It removes the chaos and uncertainty that often come with a lack of direction, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. Discipline provides the tools and habits needed to achieve your goals, manage your time and resources, and maintain resilience in the face of challenges. Through discipline, you gain the freedom to live life on your own terms, to pursue your passions, and to achieve a sense of fulfillment that comes from living with purpose and intention.